Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the August 26, 2015 meeting of the Lowell Conservation Commission. Moving on to tonight's first item is a request for determination of applicability. The Massachusetts DOT, Department of Transportation. Project location is, as we all know, Interstate 495 in Lowell, and it's the installation of communications equipment and with associated electrical connections within 100 feet of a wetland resource area. I'm assuming that's you two. All right. If you just come up and tell us what you're doing and identify yourselves for the record, please. Do we have an easel? If you want to bring those inside, Here, just a sec. Yeah, that's okay.
Hi, I'm Jess Kenny from MassDOT Highway Division. We're here tonight to talk about the Advanced Transportation Management System. I'm going to hand it over to Tess and Jared from Jacobs Engineering. All right. Do you want me to say it again? Okay. All right, I'll say it louder. Hi, my name is Jess Kenny. I'm from the MassDOT Highway Division. We're here today to talk to you about MassDOT's Advanced Transportation Management System. Jacobs Engineering is our design consultant, and Tess is here, and Jared's here from Jacobs to tell us a little bit more about it.
It's not very heavy. You want to hold it? You want to be me? Oh. Hello? Okay. There you go. So we have two locations in Lowell. The first is 91.2, which is non-jurisdictional. So we're not within 100 feet of any jurisdictional wetlands. The site we're here today is CCTV 89.4, which is along 495 at the Lowell Connector interchange. And it's a 60-foot camera pole with an attached electrical cabinet mounted right onto the pole, and then associated conduit, which we can see. Okay, so that's not on there. But you can put that down. That's Southborough. So that's a conduit on a different hearing. But it is, yeah, it's right in there. On the plans, you can see the first plan is, it connects a set in Chelmsford. So there's conduit and electrical. It's about, I think, 80 feet or 60 feet. That's within 100 feet of the bordering vegetated wetland. But the wetland is pre-disturbed. The soil is Udorthans, it's fill. So this starts, is this the Lowell? So it connects kind of down here in Chelmsford, and then comes along. They're going to directional drill underneath the ramp, and then stay along the bank and directional drill again under 495. So it's all within the roadway right-of-way and within, yeah. So we are requesting a negative determination. Do you have any questions?
I hope if I did this myself. Are you going to trench in place, I would imagine, on this? And how long do you expect the trenches to be open for?
They'll be closed same day.
Same day close, but just, this is Al from the court construction who actually will be doing the work.
So you're trenching, laying, and then backfilling?
Yep.
Okay. So, and then I would imagine you already have something in place underneath the highway already that you're headed toward? You said you're crossing the highway, or is it over?
It goes right underneath. So the directional drill has.
So there's already a conduit there?
No, they'll be putting
you're going to bore through, I guess?
The HDD has like you might be able to explain it better than me.
Yeah, so it is The installation will be an HDD, horizontal directional drilling, which actually will remove soil and then pull back a pipe that will put that conduit. And I believe it's 5 feet below the edge of pavement. So in case guardrails ever put in, the conduit's not disturbed. So at the median point of it, directly under the roadway, could be anywhere from 10 to 12 feet.
Okay, so now what happens to that soil that's bored out? Is that,
Those soils now, correct me if I'm wrong, are removed from the site.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, all that soil that they do remove is all removed from the site.
Yeah.
Are they stockpiled there for any length of time?
No.
No.
it's all removed same
I mean, I can't imagine it's a lot, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
a
we're
It's
talking
very small
max
amounts.
of an 8-inch pipe.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, that's still several cubic feet, you know, it's, I mean,
Yeah,
probably
move
2 or 3 cubic yards all said and done, but,
Yeah, they're planning to just kind of move as a team, so just kind of come
and
through
you're
and
you're
clean up
taking the
and-
stockpiled soils out right away?
Yep.
Stockpile area, we'll set that up, but it will be, it's actually in another location, I don't think it's in Lowell. But, it will be all set up, but everything's gonna be removed same day, when we do the work. So, all the work is pretty much planned to be complete in the same day.
Okay, all right. I don't have any further questions. Commissioner Varnum?
You're not removing any vegetation to speak of, is that correct?
No, any kind of tree clearing that would need to happen has to be pre-cleared with an engineer for the, just in case of migratory birds or any northern long-eared bats, but we don't have any plans for vegetation removal.
And will you just be loaming and seeding, or when you,
Yes, compacting, loaming, and seeding, or loaming and? Loaming and seeding.
thank you.
Commissioner Toner?
No questions.
And Commissioner Dillon?
No questions.
So, is there anyone here who would like to offer their comments or concerns regarding this RDA? Anyone here would like to offer their comments or concerns? All right, hearing none, do I have I think we could easily -3 this, so, do I have a motion?
Motion for a -3 determination.
All right.
Second.
By Commissioner Toner, seconded by Commissioner Varnum. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. All right, moving on to tonight's second item is a certificate of compliance, Thorndike Place LLC, concerning DEP file number 2060574. Project location is 18 YMCA Drive, and I know that the building, I think, says 22, but, you know, if you do a GPS search, it's the LRTA property next door, but, so, I mean, betwixt and between the post office and Google Maps and whatnot, but, you know, and when I saw this, I was kind of like, I'm wondering if it's the same project or if it's something else that I might have
I think
missed
it
through
had
the
two
years.
addresses. Originally, it
So-
was 22, and then it was changed to 18.
All right, and just, it's Matt, right?
Yeah,
If
good
you could
evening, Matt.
identify yourself for the record?
Matt Waterman with Line Tech Consultants here on behalf of the Condominium Association for 18 YMCA Drive, which is, I apologize, Thorndike Place. As most of the members know, we just had a site walk. I think everything is, based on the conversations we had in the site, everything went in per plan, the drainage system, the building, the parking, and there was no real issues as far as any changes to the notice of intent or the construction plans. There was some comments made about just ensuring the vegetation of the trees that are within the landscaped islands. I did have a conversation with my contact, who was the original developer that's still working with the condominium association. They didn't have any issues with, I think, probably the last idea that we discussed, which was kind of implementing, a more formal watering plan. with the landscape companies, getting them to remove the bark mulch on a yearly basis and replace it in a more depressed so that it's not continuously just added to and, kind of inhibiting water from infiltrating. And they could include that into the landscape contract or however the commission felt, the best way to do it.
So you've already had that discussion with the?
Yep, I did. I had that conversation in between our site walk, and
Very, very good.
so they were, he was amenable to any of those, like I said, whether it's requiring them to water it bi-monthly, replace bark mulch, not just add to it, and then specifically create, a depression around each of the trees in the landscaped islands.
Yeah, okay, so, I have two comments. One is, this was an older project, and it kind of forgot about it, but I recall when we permitted this project, and I'll tell you, I didn't hold much, I wouldn't say faith, but much hope for it, to put it bluntly, as well as this project turned out. It's really kind of nice out there. You wouldn't really expect it based on where it is, but it was really kind of a nice job.
No, I agree.
Considering it got shoehorned into a tiny little, lot that's in, the middle of an interchange, basically. So, I was out there a little bit earlier, and the one thing that struck me was it's kind of quiet out there. There wasn't a lot of traffic noise from the connector at all. Perhaps it was the way the wind was blowing, but the building's tastefully done, the landscaping is tastefully done, everything that we've asked seems to be functioning. I think I made the comment out there, this was one of the first underground infiltrator systems I think we approved. I think the Saturn dealership on Douglas and 38 Roger Street was the first major one, and I think this was the second one.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, but it was one of the earlier ones. My
agree, I
second
think with us
comment
as
is the
well.
trees, and you've already discussed that, and and I don't even know what kind of trees they are, and granted, it's been a very dry summer.
Yeah, I don't know. what those
And they've
trees
been
are.
there for a number of years, but they did look a little stressed, and I think, with what we had discussed out there may give them, a little boost that would be helpful and
Oh,
relatively
absolutely.
easy to do, so. Just one other comment, the sprinkler, L or doghouse or whatever it's called, it would have been nice to have been given some notice to that. It wouldn't have, I don't think, changed anything. But that's kind of the thing that really a developer needs to notify the commission that they're going to add on after the plans have been approved. Again, it's, the demarcation line between the resource and the property is very visible and very hard and fast, so it doesn't affect the resource at all. But that's kind of the, when you go closer to the resource area with something like that in a deviation from the plan, that, it should have been, there should have been an update to the plan submitted or
And
a
I think
letter or
we were
something.
unaware of it even from a certified plot plan. I think it was done after the foundation was
Yeah.
poured, and it didn't get picked up in our as-built even, the
Yeah, no,
surveyors.
I get that, the fire inspector probably said, hey, you need to do this or something like that. I get how that works, especially on a project like that, but, that really should have been, it should have been just noticed, but I don't have any problem approving this, so, Commissioner Varnum?
Could we just be notified what solution you've decided on for
Yeah,
the
we'll
trees?
update either the contract with the landscapers or the homeowner's documentation and get it back to the department. And, we can email it, obviously.
Thanks. Commissioner Beardron? No comments. Commissioner Toner? Commissioner Dillon?
Nothing further.
All right. So, do I have a motion to, I'm assuming to issue a COC? I don't think we need to hold this up. I appreciate the fact that you've already discussed it with the property manager.
Yeah, and I'll discuss it with him again after I
Yeah.
leave and just make sure that he gets
Yeah, and they
something
have
for
an
the
interest in
record
doing that too, so, because I'm sure they don't want to have to replant trees, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if they died off or anything.
No, that was actually the last thing, is that any trees would have to be replaced in kind.
Right,
And I forgot to mention that.
Right.
That we had talked about that as
right,
well.
so. I mean, it obviously adds value to the properties, so, and they look nice too.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll talk to him tonight, and then I'll follow up with an email in the morning.
Thank you.
That'll list all these things that we discussed.
Move to issue a certificate of compliance to this project.
By Commissioner Varnum, do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Dillon, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our third item on tonight's agenda is also a certificate of compliance, Counting House Lofts Limited Partnership concerning DEP file number 2060632. The project location is 109 Jackson Street, formerly 165 Jackson Street. Yes, Chris, if you could identify yourself for the record, please.
Good evening. I'm Christopher Wagner. I'm an environmental scientist with VHB. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Counting House Lofts Limited Partnership, for this COC request. Visited the site with a few of the commissioners just a little while ago, and the project has been completed, and the area in back of concern to the commission is a small park/dog run area that was constructed with pervious materials. And the one change in the plans from what was originally proposed is that the original proposal featured pervious pavers in these pervious areas. The soils turned out not to allow for direct infiltration through the pervious pavers, so instead, on the plans that were included with this COC request, on the bottom half of sheet C2, you could see a detail of an under-drain system that was constructed that has some perforated pipes below some pervious pavement where the benches in that park area are installed. So it's the equivalent amount of pervious area. There was just an additional infrastructure of this under-drain system that was constructed underneath, and everything is routed out to the canal as was before. So it's substantially no change from what was proposed. And unless the commission has any questions, we would request the COC for this project.
All right, likewise, we did a site inspection just a short while ago, and really nice. You know, it's kind of a, you know, one of those little hidden spots in the city that the residents there get to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So, refresh my memory, I know you discussed it out on the site visit. The perforated pipe is connected to the drainage system that's
The
in place?
existing, yes, yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
All right. All right, I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Varnum?
I don't have any questions.
Commissioner Beardron? No questions. Commissioner Toner? And Commissioner Dillon?
No questions.
All right, and again, I think this is easily issued a COC. And I perhaps did have one comment, where the 3 maple trees did look a little stressed, but again, it could be due to the dry summer that we've been having. And I know I'm not overly concerned with the property manager not taking care of those, because it adds privacy and it adds, beautification to the site. So I'm assuming if something were to happen, there's adequate room to rectify the situation with new trees or whatever. Perhaps a species that would survive better. We like sycamores. But I'm just, again, to me, they looked a little stressed. I don't know how long they've been there. I'm assuming at least a year now, so they looked a couple years old. Other than that, just keep an eye on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I did just notice that we got a memo from DPD about various things concerning this. A debris management plan for chemicals used to clean the building was supposed to be submitted, just to clean up the file, I imagine. Judy, is that what it is?
Yes, that was one of the conditions, and we just didn't see anything submitted.
There wasn't anything in the file?
As far as the
Okay,
plan.
yeah, okay, so when this was originally permitted, the contractor was going to, sandblast / use treatments to clean the outside of the building that faced the canal. And we had requested a materials and procedure plan for that process.
Okay.
And it's not in the file. We don't have that. So it's just for the sake of having a complete, it was a condition. What I would do is entertain a certificate of compliance so we don't have to revisit this. I'm assuming the work was done, obviously, and that something does exist.
The plan, right.
Yeah, but this is just filling a pigeonhole, basically,
Correct,
right, at this point in time. What I would suggest is,
Things, yeah, what else is in there?
all right, what I would suggest is contacting the property manager, the developer, and forwarding that information so that it's part of the file, and at that point in time, the COC can actually formally go out. So we can condition the release of the COC based on receiving that material, so.
Great.
All right, and this, I'm sorry, Commissioner Varnum.
Yeah, we also have an agreement required for cleaning up that debris that we saw in the canal, an agreement with NL. I know that's perhaps not easy to come by. I don't know, you probably don't know if anyone has spoken with NL about getting
I don't know.
some kind of a plan in place to clean that regularly. I don't know what.
Don't know.
I don't know what that huge beaver will eat, though, if you clean it too often. It's the most giant
Yeah,
beaver I ever saw.
Yeah, he seemed to be the only one out there doing any cleaning, so.
And I wasn't aware of mulch sloping towards the canal particularly, so maybe that has been taken care of.
Well, there is mulch on the site in the landscaped areas.
I did see the mulch, yeah.
Yeah, but there's also there's like a stone buffer, though, too. There's about a 1.5 2 foot stone, along the canal wall in between the mulch area and the wall itself, so.
I think the only reason we mentioned it was because there was a little bit of slope there.
Yeah,
Where the
I stepped in
mulch
that area and it was very spongy. So, I was kind of surprised, actually. I expected it to be really solid, but there was pretty good play to it, so.
I think probably what you have to be careful of is they don't just pile mulch year after year and get it so it's above that lip of the stone.
Right.
I don't know if that is any place for a condition.
Yeah, do we
in there.
have a operation and maintenance plan for that area? It has one, I'm assuming one exists. So, there must be an O&M plan for the landscape clean out crew, whatever, to maintain that area for the maintainers. So it would be, perhaps, we can put that as a condition to submit that. Because as Commissioner Varnum has indicated, it'd be nice to have some verbiage that, when come springtime, they just don't put new mulch over the existing mulch to remove it first and replace it. That gives the trees, and it should be pulled back from the trees too. It shouldn't be right up to the trunk of the trees, so. All right, do I have a,
I'll make a motion.
motion to issue a COC, but condition it upon receipt of the materials?
I'll make a motion to issue a standard Lowell certificate of compliance with conditions that there is, what's the first thing, a debris management plan?
Well, and operating and maintenance plan for the
Yeah, I got
maintenance
that,
of the
but
area.
that first thing that Commissioner Barnum was talking about, debris.
Oh, well, no, as I recall, when they came in, we had asked, the first thing Commissioner Varner mentioned was we're missing the surface cleaning
The surface cleaning.
plan.
Okay, so with submittal of the surface cleaning plan, if you second, submit an operation and maintenance plan for the area consisting of landscaping and some sort of clean out. And then, do you want to say third, the agreement for cleaning up the debris in the canal?
No, I don't have a specific memory other than just us asking for the developers when they were here to try and
Clean it up?
somehow reach some sort of dialogue with NL
Okay,
to clean out the canal. Again, it's off the property, and
Okay.
that's, and NL is not the, well,
okay, yeah, not the problem here. Okay, so two conditions, the surface plan.
I
and
would
then-
omit the word "not" in that sentence.
The surface plan and the second condition, the O&M plan for landscaping.
So do I have a second? All right. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to tonight's fourth item is an enforcement order as Flago Realty Corporation. Project location is 423 Pawtucket Street, and it's construction without a permit within bordering land subject to flooding. And I believe, Ms. Delania, that we are waiting for your Loma
Yes, sir,
application.
you are.
Where is it?
Kenneth Lania, Cornerstone Land Consultants, representing the applicant, DeRosa Properties. And my understanding when I spoke with David today is that he applied for the electronic, I guess you can electronically submit these.
Yeah.
And I guess I haven't followed up on whether or not that was issued. So I will take the blame on this and get it done for you in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, we need that.
Yes, sir. I
That's,
completely
you know,
understand.
right, as you know, right now, this commission does not stand idly by to properties that are built in the
Absolutely.
floodplain without compensation and without permitting and without the map adjustment from FEMA.
I understand.
You're, to
Theoretically
put
in
it bluntly,
violation.
SOL.
Yes.
So,
I guess David said he submitted it and they kicked back his registration for some reason for the electronic filings. We've never done the electronic ones before, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how that
all right,
process works.
I know from having done them, you know, you have to follow the procedure, you know, and there's a little bit of a wait, but they go
Yeah.
relatively quickly.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
mean, I'll follow up with Dave. I've been in the field for about a month now at Royal Crest.
You may want to give a call down to
Yeah.
the regional office.
Absolutely. So if you want to put me on for the next agenda, sir, I'll make sure that I follow up and get you guys a completed answer for the
Yeah,
next
I mean,
meeting.
it's the completed application, it's just a matter of printing it out
Yep.
and submitting it. We want to make sure that you've got the ball rolling,
Absolutely.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Because we have nothing other than
Mhm.
just your say-so that it's being done.
I understand.
You know, we need a paper trail here.
Absolutely. Completely understandable.
Okay.
When would your next meeting be?
We are September 9th? Okay.
September 9th?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, wonderful. I'll plan on being here. I'll forward the information to Swathi ahead of time so that you folks have
Well,
it for the
to
meeting.
Judy or to Joe?
To me,
Oh, yes,
so-
ma'am.
Swati has moved on to,
Cambridge,
Greener pastures?
No.
Oh, no way.
definitely not
Oh,
greener
no, all right.
pastures.
different pastures.
No.
Judy, I will,
Cambridge
I'll make sure I
benefited
forward
in the
to you.
deal. Lowell lost a wonderful
Yes,
person, but I'm not going to put Cambridge in the same ballpark as Lowell,
That's
not by
fair.
any stretch of the imagination.
all right, not a problem.
So,
Well, thank you very much,
All right.
and I'll make sure I'm back in 2 weeks with a better outcome. All right?
thank you.
All right. Have a good evening.
I won't be smiling next time, Ms. Delania.
I know. I understand.
Enforcement order, tonight's fifth item on the agenda, Sambang Kong. Project location is 16 Old Ferry Road, and it's alteration of grade and placement of fill on bordering land subject to flooding. Judy, what's going on here?
This, I think, you were just going to close it out because we did get confirmation that everything's been
It's
taken
been
care of.
restored?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And has it's been inspected, we're all okay?
As-
Okay,
Yes, yep.
all right.
Grass is growing.
Huh, is it?
Yep, they actually removed it pretty quick,
Okay,
quicker than I thought, yeah.
all right. Do we have a motion to lift the enforcement order? And I guess it would be to rescind the enforcement order, so, yeah.
I'll move to rescind the order.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Varn, seconded by Commissioner Toner. Any discussion? All in favor certified by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. And do we have any other business tonight?
The only other is the, I don't know if you wanted to vote on the language for the.
Oh, yeah, I spoke to, I looked at the language, I'm happy with it, so I forgot about that, so,
I have 2 copies if the other,
Is this of the deed?
I
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
copy.
yeah, the
Yeah.
deed.
I thought it looked good.
I just had a question about the file. They had proposed a rain garden. Was that something that was going to go in the deed?
I don't think it can it go in the deed?
No.
It's not on the property, the actual physical
It's on the
building.
oh, yeah.
No, but it's not in the building, like the actual structure,
Oh, yeah, well, I
It's
mean,
on the lot.
no, it would just be part
Yeah.
of the, it would just be part of the.
like the landscape.
Yeah, it'd be part of the plan.
Okay, so
It wouldn't be part of the
it could
deed.
disappear and,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but
That was what again? The
There's a rain
a rain garden,
garden.
yeah.
It's been a while since I've been out there. I don't recall.
Do you,
They haven't actually filed for their certificate of compliance
that's-
yet, have they?
They have filed.
Yeah, they have, from what I understand, that's next agenda. Yeah.
So we can ask them at the time about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and that
Make
should
sure-
actually be in your documents that I gave you for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, to answer Commissioner Varnum's question, and again, it's there, no one's here on this tonight, and we're not considering, but that would be part of the project, that wouldn't necessarily be part of the deed. I mean, if it was off-site, I'd like to see something in the off-site's property, as far as like an easement or something like that goes, but not, it's just a matter of the project here. I wouldn't necessarily have that in the deed, so, okay.
I couldn't recall if it was part of the compensation for that floodplain issue.
Yeah, and again, again, I mean, this is a floodplain issue on this property. It's, very flat, as we know out there, and it's, kind of scooped out a little bit, but,
I mean, it would be part of the record plan that we received for the
Yeah.
entire property.
Yeah.
I mean, but the language that is in the deed, I believe, for the flow-through was a specification of the order of
Right.
conditions.
right, yeah, and it's, the Conservation Commission retains jurisdiction on the site, so, I mean, if the rain garden were to disappear, that would be an alteration of land in a floodplain, so, I mean, at that point in time, we could take appropriate action if we felt it was necessary, so, all right, so yeah, oh, God,
That
anyway,
was
so,
Doug,
huh?
was Doug his first name? The attorney who was here?
Yeah, the name is escaping me, and it shouldn't.
Doug?
I don't know, but
I can't remember.
Yeah.
the language is good,
But the language is good,
yeah.
so. Okay. All right. And we don't have anything else. So I have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Dillon, seconded by
Second.
Commissioner Beardron. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, the ayes have it, and good night.